Okay, so now that we've got our camera set up on the tripod, I'm just going to take you through some of the basic movements and talk about how they affect the final image. So we're going to go back here to the film plane first of all, and you've got the thumb screws again. So if I loosen those off, what I can do is I can push it forward or backwards, okay, and what that is called, that's called rear tilt, okay, and that's going to have an effect on the overall focus of the image on the top of the image and also on the bottom of the image, okay. So I'm just going to put that into the neutral position. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the lens plane on the front here, okay, and again you've got a pair of thumb screws either side, but with this one you've got larger ones on the inside and then smaller ones on the outside. We're going to talk about the larger ones on the inside first. So when I loosen those off, what I can do really easily is change the position of the lens plane, okay? So what I'm doing here is referred to as rise and fall, okay? So let's just imagine that I lock it into position there. And what that's really good at is, as a compositional device, is controlling the amount of foreground in your image, okay? Like most large format lenses have a very wide image circle, so they tend to take in quite a bit of the foreground of your picture. So you can control that through, rise and fall here on the lens plane. Now you also have tilt, just like you did like we looked at on the back here, on the lens plane. And to change that, you just need to loosen off the smaller thumb screws, and then you can push the lens plane forward. So that's forward tilt. And then you've got pushing it back like that. You've got sort of negative tilt there on the lens plane. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it back into neutral. And I'm going to tighten everything up. Another movement that we've got on the 5.4 is called swing, and that's where you loosen off the thumb screw in the base there, and you can literally swing the lens plane through a number of degrees on the front of the camera. Okay, so again, just like the tilt here on the lens plane, on the film plane, swinging is going to control your focus, but instead of being on the top and the bottom of the picture this time, it's going to be on the left hand side and on the right hand side. Okay, so you can experiment with that for yourself. I'm just going to reset the camera into the neutral position here. The final movement that you've got is called shift, and that's where you can move the lens plane sort of over and back like that. To do that, you just need to loosen the thumb screw at the bottom here just a little bit. You don't want it to come out of the base, and then you can slide the lens plane along that axis there. Okay, so again, that's going to control a little bit like the compositional device we talked about, controlling the foreground. This is just going to control the amount of the image that you can take in on the left hand side or the right hand side. Okay, and they're the main movements for the large format.